Breaking news tonight in the Riverside Mall, where a devastating fire has destroyed the once thriving shopping complex. The fire, which broke out late last night, ravaged the mall, reducing the entire structure to ashes in less than 10 minutes, far faster than any fire could destroy such a large building. Witnesses report seeing a strange flicker in the lights before the blaze erupted, though no official cause has been determined at this time. Authorities have yet to confirm the number of casualties, and early reports indicate the fire began towards the center of the mall, rapidly spreading in all directions.
WKGF presents The Witching Hour with Max Thorn.
Good evening, my little hobgobs. I have got some big, earth-shattering news for you tonight. The kind of news that burrows just under your skin, and the kind that makes this show so exciting for me. But first, let's all say hi to my producer, Ricky, in the booth to my left. Hi, Ricky!
Hey, everybody.
And let's not forget our ever-growing fan base just outside the studio, holding signs comparing me to Satan. For reasons unknown. I think I'm a pretty nice guy. I'm fun. I still hang out with my parents. I don't know why they think I'm Satan. But anyway, hi friends. Bang up job as always. Now, back to the news. On Saturday morning, September 30th, the very next day after our last show, a massive fire broke out at the Riverside Mall. Now, if you've been listening lately, that name should ring a bell. We were just talking about it, about FB's toy store shutting down, about haunted dolls, and Lily Ledbetter. You remember, Aisle 12, the cursed one. On Saturday morning, just as I was sitting down to watch Garfield and Friends, don't laugh, it's a great show, I got the call. I didn't waste a second. I grabbed my tape recorder and a Jolt Cola and drove straight out to Riverside to cover the story for WKGF. At first, officials weren't saying much, but my BS skills are legendary. The fire had engulfed most of the building, and investigators were still working through the rubble. Early word was that it started somewhere near the center of the mall. But I didn't need to hear any more, because I knew where it started. And sure enough, once the smoke cleared, firefighters confirmed it. The blaze began inside FB's toy store, right near the center of the building, and before long, I had sweet-talked my way into the rubble, and wouldn't you know it, right there, where FB's Toys was, permanently closed for 2 days, was a giant hole in the linoleum where the fire started. Right on aisle 12. That's right, folks. The same aisle we have been talking about for weeks. And just when you think it can't get weirder, it does. Buried in the wreckage, I found something that gave even the fire chief pause. A set of small footprints burned into the floor, perfectly preserved, as if someone, small, childlike, had stood there and watched it all happen. The prints begin at aisle 12 and seem to wander around the store and into the center of the mall. At one point, it appears that whoever made the prints was skipping like a happy child. No signs of escape once they hit the center, just standing, watching it burn. But there's more. Scattered around the footprint site were several dolls, half melted, scorched black, but still intact. And here's the weird part. They weren't where they were supposed to be. Everything had been boxed up early Friday morning, including the dolls, but now, scattered around the store, posed in positions suggesting they were trying to escape or were in agony. I have never in my life seen anything like it. The firefighters weren't interested in this. To them, it just looked like burnt toys scattered around a toy store. But you and I, we know better. With the closure of the store and the boxing of those dolls, Lily Ledbetter had been given a free path to freedom. And she took it. But that's not even the worst part of all of this. It somehow even gets worse. Under the ash, scorched into the floor, was a message, a rhyme, a twisted little verse like something out of a deranged nursery. And the second I saw it, I recognized it. And so will you, because I read it on this very show. Lily, Lily, come to play. Yeah, that one. I don't tempt fate in situations like this, so I will not finish reading it. Who knows what potential damage it could cause? We thought it was just a creepy bit of lore tied to the store, something whispered by kids or scrawled into a forgotten notebook. But now it's real, branded into the floor beneath what used to be FB's toys. And that raises a whole lot of questions. Was the fire an accident, some faulty wiring, or something else? I'm sure those are the questions the officials will be trying to figure out, but not me and you. We know better. We know what it was. Authorities haven't made a final statement yet, and when they do, I'm sure it'll be a big old stinky load of crapola. I wish I could say the story ended there, but it gets worse. Once news of the fire spread, so did the poem scorched into the floor, and other news outlets ran with it, thinking it may be some arsonist's calling card. But not WKGF. We knew better. Now, for the even worse news. That very same night, Saturday, September 30th, another devastating fire claimed the lives of 3 teenagers in Palm Heights, just outside of Riverside. The fire broke out late Saturday night, Sunday morning, at the home of Heather Simmons, where she and 2 friends were having a sleepover. Tragically, none of the teens survived. Firefighters who arrived on the scene early that morning discovered something truly unsettling near the remains of the bathroom where the fire is believed to have started. Child-sized footprints were found, burned into the floor.
Okay. You've got the match?
Right here.
Okay, you'd have to light the match, then light the candle as soon as we finish the rhyme. Got it?
Got it.
You sure? Because if you don't light the flame as soon as it's done, she can't come.
I said I got it. I'm not dumb. Are we sure about this, guys?
I'm sure. Are you sure?
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Lily, Lily, come to play. Feed the flame, don't fade away. Through the fire your shadows fall, burning all who make this call.
Light it.
Hi, I'm Lily.
Holy shit.
Thank you for calling me.
Time, weather, and always pass.
If Lily is some sort of magical being that's been trapped for 50 years and is suddenly roaming free, why attack some random innocent teenagers in a neighboring city? There has to be more to it, and I need to get to the bottom of it. People are surely going to believe Lily's curse is spreading, and her reach is becoming far more dangerous. I reached out to Sarah Clarkson, the paranormal investigator I spoke with while first reporting on this story, who had this to say.
Oh my god, I knew it. We are so f***ed.
The cause of the fire remains under investigation, but as more details emerge, many are left wondering if this is yet another sign that Lily's sinister presence is moving around, unchecked and untethered. This is like nothing I have seen before, but I know what I saw. Those footprints didn't get there from anything human. Oh, phone lines are open. 805-272-0089. Now, the bad news just keeps on trucking in. This past weekend, I've gotten 2 messages left on our answering machine that were both not great. I'll play them both for you. We'll start with Aaron from Austin, Texas, who has a devastating update on a story we discussed a few weeks ago about Scoopy's ice cream truck.
Hey Max, I don't know if you're gonna get this, but I thought you should know. It's about Becky Robinson and Michael Kirkpatrick, the 2 from Austin who called into your show last week, the ones talking about the ice cream truck. I saw something on the news tonight, and I almost didn't believe it when I heard their names, but it was them. They're dead, Max. Both of them. Found last night, middle of the school parking lot over on the west side. News said their bodies were crushed, like something rolled right over them. But there are no tire tracks, nothing that made sense. And they found a gas can beside them. 5-gallon jug, half spilled all over the asphalt. Matches too. Looked like they were going to do exactly what they said on your show. Burn the truck to the ground. But whatever they were chasing, it got to them first. Cops aren't saying much, and the reporter was vague. I don't know what to think. It was, Max, but I think Becky and Michael were right. I think it's alive, and I don't think it's done. Anyway, I just thought you should know. Figured if anyone's going to talk about it, it'd be you. Love the show, Max. Sorry for the bad news.
If you recall, both of those listeners called into the show saying how they were going to blow up the Scoopy's ice cream truck. When I heard that message, I was hoping it was a prank. But I did some research and found out that it is, in fact, true. On top of their deaths, 2 more children have gone missing in that neighborhood. So we will definitely be keeping a close eye on that story. And we will be sending our warmest vibes to the families of our callers and the missing children. Hopefully, this nightmare will end soon. And just like being kicked in the groin when you're down, now I want to play a phone message from a listener named Samantha over in London. She heard our debut syndicated episode with my interview with Grace Lawson, the Nightblade, and any other day, this would have been the top story. But I just couldn't hold the fire story for later. So, buckle up. Here is Samantha from London with one more kick to the teeth.
Hi, Max. Your show just got here a couple weeks ago. I listened on a fluke, and oh my god. I wasn't sure I'd tell anyone this, but after hearing you talk about Grace Lawson, I think I finally have to. So, just a few months ago, I was working the late shift at this little pub just outside of Canterbury. It was a quiet night, you know, the usual crowd, locals, few tourists passing through, and then in walks this woman. Dark hair, pale skin, sitting at the bar all by herself. She wasn't dressed flashy or anything, just a simple, like, she didn't want to stand out. But, Max, there was something about her. She hardly said a word, just ordered a gin and tonic and stared into her glass like she had a rough night. You know, I couldn't figure her out, but what caught my attention more were the men. 3 of them, loud, already halfway to crocked, and they wouldn't leave her alone. They were relentless, making comments, laughing, leaning in too close, and she didn't argue. She didn't even look at them, just ignored them completely. Eventually, she got up and left, and I watched her walk out into the night, and I thought, well, good for her. But the men, they weren't done. They followed her, Max. All 3 of them. Now, I didn't like that at all, so I called the police. I told them I thought a woman might be in trouble. So the officers showed up about 20 minutes later. So I went outside and pointed them in the right direction. But, Max, that's when I saw them. the men. They were in the alley behind the pub, just lying there, split right down the middle. Like someone had taken a blade and sliced them perfectly in half. There weren't any signs of a struggle, no bins knocked over, no blood smeared around like you'd expect, just pools. It was too precise. It wasn't natural. So I'll never forget the looks on the officers' faces. They tried to get me to leave, but I just couldn't stop staring. And the next day, the paper ran a little piece about it, said the men were attacked by wild animals. Wild animals? Max, I've lived here my whole life. I've never seen anything that could do that. And besides, I saw them. No animal did that. I didn't tell anyone about what I'd seen, not really, and people in the village didn't want to talk about it. They just wanted it to go away. But now, hearing your story, hearing about Grace Lawson and what happened in America, I'm certain it was her. She's here, Max, and she's not done. She needs to be stopped. She needs to be put down.
Whew. So, yeah, a gin and tonic, 3 overconfident fools, and an alleyway painted in blood. Sounds exactly like her kind of nightcap, doesn't it? I was hoping Grace was gone forever, but even I knew that was foolish. But let's unpack this for a minute. What our dear caller from across the pond described, it is textbook Grace. The quiet, almost invisible presence, the predatory patience, and then, bam, a flash of impossible violence that nobody can explain, tied up in a neat little bow of denial, courtesy of the authorities. Wild animals, they say. Of course, why not wild animals? Because nothing soothes the public like a toothy scapegoat that can't defend itself against accusations, right? But you and I, we know better. We've seen the pattern before. Grace doesn't just disappear. She lingers like smoke in a closed room, like the aftertaste of a bitter drink. She moves on, but the echoes of her presence remain loud and clear. And now, it seems, the echoes are bouncing off the white cliffs of Dover. You have to wonder, why England? Why back where people might know her or recognize her? And more importantly, how did she get there? She was officially a wanted woman from the moment she escaped that police station. What we know from eyewitnesses is she made her way to the Santa Monica Pier where she disappeared. Is it just another place to hunt? Another set of shadows to slip into? Like, does she feel safe at home? I don't have answers yet, but I do have a question for you, my loyal listeners. If the Nightblade is back, what's stopping her? Because let's be honest, if she's slicing her way through blokes in a back alley and the authorities are sweeping it under the rug, it's only a matter of time before her appetite grows. So, what do you think? Is Grace Lawson back to England? Is she hunting? Is she hiding? Did she slip up? Did she make a mistake? She get fed up? Or is she building up to something even bigger? Whatever the case may be, if you've got a story, a lead, or just a whisper in the dark, you know where to find me. 805-272-0089. My answering machine is always on, and I listen to every message I get. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's hope for something a little better, a little happier. Let's go to Iris. Iris, what is up? You are on the air with Max Thorn and the Witching Hour.
Hi, Max. I don't know if I should be calling in about this, but it's weird, and I was hoping you could help out. You seem to know a lot about weird stuff.
Weird stuff and rock and roll will be what's printed on my tombstone. What you got for us, Iris? I'm happy to try and help.
Perfect. Okay, so all my life I've had this condition called achromatopsia. It's colorblindness of the most extreme. Everything is completely grayscale, and the best way I can explain it is that it's like I'm living in a black and white movie, even though, all movies are black and white to me. The point is, I can't see color. At least, I didn't used to be able to.
Does that mean you've started seeing colors? Like what kind of colors are we talking about here?
It's not just seeing them, though, Max. It's like sometimes when people speak, I see colors. Their voices have like these shades, and I don't know, every word they say creates like the tiniest little splash of color.
And this is new. So when did it start?
Well, it started about a month ago. Every morning before work, I go into this coffee shop around the corner, and I enjoy a cup, before the day starts. And that's when it happened for the first time. I thought something was wrong. Like, I literally thought that was the end of me, and I was gonna die right there in my little booth. It was the strangest thing that had ever happened to me, and for the life of me, I could not figure out why. It looked like someone swirled colored smoke into the sky, and I swear I almost burst into tears. It stayed that way for a while. I just sat there, completely dumbfounded, like I had no idea what was happening. When I left the coffee shop to go to work, the colors started fading, and I was back to being normal, colorblind Iris. And yes, I'm aware of the irony of my name.
I wasn't gonna mention it. I promise.
Thank you. So anyway, the next morning, back at the coffee shop, same thing happens. Same colors. Then I leave, same thing. It's gone. Then the next day at the coffee shop, it does not happen. So over time, I started to notice that it wasn't the coffee shop doing it. It was a waitress. I don't know how to explain it, but she made the colors appear, and the closer I was to her, the more, alive they felt. Her name was Kinsey, and I swear if our fingers happened to touch when she was handing me my drink, I'd see this warm light spread out from her like a firework. And it wasn't just any warm light. It's what I imagine the colors being as the sun sets over the ocean, like that perfect moment of the day when everything just feels right. It felt like a warm breeze.
That is quite the experience, Iris. But you're telling me that Kinsey was not someone special in your life, just a waitress at a coffee shop.
Yeah, she was just a normal worker at the coffee shop, probably around my age. I don't know, but whenever I went in, I felt like something shifted. When our hands touched, I'd see this breezy light, and sometimes it would linger in the air even after I'd left the shop. It was like I could feel the color, and everything felt more vivid. And it was all her voice and her touch. It made the world feel alive in a way that I didn't think was possible. And after about a week or so, the colors started to stay, even while I was at work. Not firework bursts, just more like, like maybe colors on the outskirts of my vision.
So Kinsey's presence seemed to bring this intense experience of color for you. But I'm guessing something happened that caused that to change.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. I went in for my usual drink, and she wasn't there. So at first I thought, maybe she'd just taken a day off. But I came back a few more times, and she was never there. And then I found out that she'd left to take another job. And that's when the colors started to fade permanently.
So Kinsey leaving meant the end of these colorful experiences for you?
Yeah, First, it was just the small things. The warm light faded the fastest, her light. And then I started noticing the world around me turning gray again. The colors on the edge of my eyes dulled and just bled away, like someone had wiped everything clean with a cloth. If, like when she touched me, the colors would come to life, and when she left, it just drained out of me.
So I think I understand now, Iris. Kinsey's presence wasn't just about the colors you saw. It was about something deeper, something that was and still is inside of you, just waiting to be unlocked.
Yeah, Max, and I think that's what scares me. When Kinsey was around, everything felt so bright. She made the world feel full of possibility, even though all she did was smile and refill my coffee. She probably doesn't even know I exist.
It sounds like Kinsey was more of a mirror for you, helping you see something inside yourself that you had not recognized before. Maybe those colors and those feelings were part of you all along, and Kinsey was just the key to unlocking them. Maybe she opened the door, but it is up to you to walk through it.
That might be it, and that terrifies me, Max, because it means that I'm the one who has to make the colors come back, and I don't know how to do that without her. I just feel broken.
First of all, you are not broken. I can promise you that. I will not tolerate any Iris slander on my show. Maybe you're feeling a little incomplete, but most everyone feels that way. It's totally normal, and I can promise you won't always feel like that. What I think you need to consider doing is to stop depending on someone else to unlock those colors for you. I hope you realize that you don't need anyone else's permission to see them or to feel them. The colors are yours. They've been yours all along, but for whatever reason, they've been tucked away somewhere so private, even you don't have access to them.
I'm just so confused and miserable. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on your show, but I don't know who else to turn to. I know it's not just about Kinsey. I guess I've always sort of knew that, but I've always felt different. Like a part of me just did, no matter how hard I tried it to. Maybe I just assumed it was the color blindness, but I don't know, maybe it's more.
Sometimes we waste so much time waiting for someone else to show us who we are, but the truth is, everything we need is already inside of us. Kinsey was a spark for you, sure, but you're the one that has to fan that spark into a flame. The colors are always yours to find again. They're in there. And once you do, I can almost guarantee that all those feelings will come flooding back to you. They are your colors, Iris, not hers, not anyone else's. They belong to you and only you. And it's up to you to go and find them because they're there and waiting. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Wow, Max, thank you. Thank you. God. Thank you, Max. Thank you, everyone out there.
Go find your colors, Iris. Literally everyone out there in Radioland is rooting for you. And please call back when you find them, or if you're struggling and you just need to talk. We will be here every Friday night waiting for you.
God, I'm trying not to cry. I'm sorry. Thank you, Max. Thank you, everyone out there listening. I appreciate that.
You've got this, Iris. Thank you so much for your call. Phone lines are open, 805-272-0089. We will be back in a flash. I'm going to run outside and see if the protesters need any water. You can all listen to a commercial, and I'll hustle right back with more of The Witching Hour.
Kill it! I have already killed you. Right here.
2 men.
Yeah!
Now this is gonna get to me.
2 machines. 2 wild.
It's clobbering time.
Get ready for Robot Jocks. Rated PG.
It's sizzling hot. It's the best pizza deal you can cut. A deal that isn't skimpy. This one has real meat to it. 6 meat toppings and a blend of cheeses. Pizza Hut's new Meat Lovers Pizza. Now get one medium for $8.99. Better yet, get a second one for just $4 more. So hurry. It's a limited time offer.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
Don't miss Winn-Dixie's early week specials Sunday through Wednesday. Enjoy tender U.S. choice steaks when you buy a whole or half untrimmed top loin strip for a hot $1.99 a pound. Here's another great value. Take home a 10-pound bag of Harvest Fresh Idaho potatoes for $2.39. 2-liter Pepsi and Diet Pepsi are only 88 cents. And you get double coupon value at all Winn-Dixie's except marketplace stores. Limit supply. Winn-Dixie, America's supermarket.
We now return to The Witching Hour with Max Thorn.
Welcome back. They did not want my water, and the woman with the Carol Brady mud flap called me a monster. So I guess I got my wish of uncool parents hating me. Anyway, let's get back to the phone lines. Let's go to Millie. Millie, you are on the air with the Witching Hour.
Hey, Max, thanks for taking my call.
For sure.
So, I think I might know what Lily is.
So Millie knows about Lily. All right, please tell me then.
So, I didn't have a lot of friends in high school, so I had a lot of time to learn about nerd stuff, and I think Lily is a fairy, but not like a storybook fairy. I think she is a fire sprite.
What in the world is a fire sprite?
So, like, most people think of fairies as, like, tiny little flying cute girls that sprinkle magic dust that make dreams come true, but that's all a lie. Real fairies are old, and they can be the size of a child, and they're dangerous. They certainly won't be granting any wishes. There's several different kinds, but fire fairies, or sprites as they're called, live in flames.
How's that possible?
I don't know. Most fairies start out as magical little human-like creatures. Then something happens to them, usually through rage, and they turn into their sprite form. From what I can tell, Lily was enraged at her school and burnt it down, probably without a match. Like, this is all just a guess, but I feel it's a good guess. Lily was trapped in her fire, and something or someone was keeping her in check for all those years. With that mall fire, and now hearing about the teenage girls, there is no doubt that Lily is back, and she is kicked.
What causes the rage? I can understand her rage at the people that teased her at school, and I can understand the rage in her little soul prison under the mall, but why the innocent teens?
Well, you have to think she's been stewing in that rage for 50 years. But here's the thing. She didn't attack those teen girls on her own. They had to call her. Those girls cracked the door open and Lily kicked it down.
How?
I think they called her. I think I know how, at least partly, but I don't want to say it here. It would be too dangerous. There are 2 parts to the call, and I have no doubt that those girls did both of them. I tried doing half of it on my own and got nothing, which convinces me there's a second part that needs to be done for Lily to come. I have a good idea, but I will never try it. And I don't want anyone else to try it, so I'm not gonna say it on the air. But Lily is real. She can only take human form when she is called. So in the meantime, she'll be living in the flames.
What do you mean living in flames?
She has to live somewhere, and it has to be a flame. It could be a little candle, a cigarette, or a forest fire, but she has to stay somewhere.
And what happens when, say, the candle is blown out?
Then she hops to the next flame and waits. It's horrifying.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And then when someone does invite her in?
Kaboom. Big time.
Whew, okay. Well, thank you, Millie. I'm going to transfer you back to my producer, Ricky. I would love to discuss this more with you and do some more digging. I'm sure the audience agrees. Would that be okay?
Totally.
Great. Thanks, Ricky. And thanks for calling, Millie. Wow, what a day. Grace and Lily. Yikes. All right, Ricky, let's take one more call before we go to break. Who you got?
All right, we've got Kevin from Jersey.
Kevin from New Jersey. You were on the air with the Witching Hour.
Hey, Max. Wow, I had no idea a show like this existed. This is wild.
Ah, well, I'm glad you found us.
Me too. So I've been holding on to something for like 6 years, and if I tell anyone, they think I am crazy. So this happened when I was a kid back in '83 at this place called Camp Crescent Moon. Standard summer camp stuff, canoeing, mosquito bites, bad food, like really bad. The first night there was some fish, but like, I don't know, man. It didn't look like a fish I've ever seen. Nasty stuff, didn't touch it. Anyway, despite that, we all had a great time, but there was one thing about that summer that I have never been able to explain.
Oh, man, there's nothing better than a good summer camp mystery. What do you got for us, Kev?
There was this guy, cool guy, counselor, whatever, named Brock. He wasn't assigned to our cabin, but he worked there, you know, and he was always around. You know the type, long curly hair, cool shades, and he called everyone dude. We thought he was so cool. It's why I call everyone dude now. Oh, he had this Walkman with him and headphones, and at the time I had never seen a Walkman. They were like brand new, I guess.
Oh, man, I love
but he
my
was
Walkman.
always listening to that band, The Cars. Anyway, point is, he was the guy you wanted watching over you. Laid back, cool, didn't care if you broke curfew as long as you didn't get caught and didn't, do anything stupid,
Sure.
And like, every time we would see him, his first words were always, "Hey, my dudes, need any help?" Every time, always wanting to help. Like when my buddy Brian fell in the lake trying to impress some girls. He could swim, but the water was like freezing and he just like froze. And before any of us could even react, Brock was there, dragging him out like it was nothing. Or the time me and a couple of kids got lost in the woods after dark because we thought we saw a bobcat.
Oh.
We were freaking out, trying to find our way back. And then, out of nowhere, Brock steps onto the trail, laughing. "You guys really suck at directions," he says, and he walks us back to camp like it was no big deal. We never really thought about it at the time. He was just there when we needed him. So, one night we're sitting around the fire pit, right, telling really juvenile, like, fart jokes, or can I say that on the air?
On this show, you can.
Okay. Or even, like, worse ghost stories. Brock was there, just leaning against a tree, cool as a cucumber, right? Listening to the stories and just being awesome. He didn't say anything, just laughed every now and then at our bad jokes and then stories. And then the camp director, Mr. Lutz, showed up. He wanted to know why we were outside so late unsupervised. We started explaining, and I said something like, "Brock was with us." And Lutz just stopped. He stared at us. And then he says, like real quiet, "You mean Brock Harrelson?" We kind of shrugged. We didn't know his last name. And that's when Lutz got really irritated with us, like full on red in the face. He shakes his head and says, "Yeah, very funny. Who told you about Brock? You think this is a joke?" Like, we're just dumb kids, right? So we laughed at first. We thought he was messing with us. And he was like, "I don't know who told you or what you heard or whatever. Brock was a counselor here. And one night years ago, a cabin caught fire. Brock ran inside to save the kids, got them all out except himself. He didn't make it. And you're going to sit here and disrespect his name like that?" Like, we didn't know what was going on. We pointed to where Brock just was, but of course, he was gone. So Lutz stormed off, mumbling to himself, and we just kind of sat there, the four of us, like in total silence. In fact, none of us talked much the rest of the night. we just went back to our bunks trying to make sense of what we'd heard,
Wow.
But even now, I keep thinking back to all those times Brock just magically showed up, always when we needed him. He never really acted like the other counselors. He never seemed to report to anyone, and the more I think about it, the more I wonder, did anyone else at that camp actually see him, or was it just us? We asked around when we got back to school, but nope, nobody saw him, which I guess isn't too strange because it was a big camp, several different classes there, but I don't know. Here's another part. You might doubt. You might not believe, though. So, last weekend, Brian and I, the guy Brock pulled from the water, we were playing Excite Bike on my Nintendo, and out of nowhere, Brian is like, dude, do you ever think about Brock? And I was like, what? Yes. And he said he did too, a lot. It was crazy. Then I swear, the next song on the radio was My Best Friend's Girl by The Cars. Brock loved that song, I swear. So, like, I had just listened to your show for the first time the night before, and I knew I had to call. Like, what do you make of it?
Awesome. I'm glad you found us, Kevin. Thank you for calling. That is one cool story. I'm happy you told us, and I'm sure everyone out there in Radio Land is happy about it as well. But my advice to you guys is to hold on to that story. You guys know what happened, so carry that with you. You said Brock saved your buddy's life, and that is amazing, but think about the gifts he gave you. Like, let that goodness you encountered at a young age guide you into your future. If Lutz, the camp director, I think you said his name was Lutz, was telling the truth, Brock died trying to save those kids. And here's where it gets interesting. Some ghosts haunt places out of anger or unfinished business, but apparently not Brock. He stuck around to help. You've got yourself a real-life Casper there, dude. He wasn't tied to the place because of fear or revenge or whatever. He stayed because he still had a job to do. Maybe in his mind, camp never ended. And here's the thing about summer camps, man. They exist in this strange place between like memory and myth. The kind of place where time doesn't move the way it should. Like, ask anyone who went to camp as a kid, as I did, and they'll tell you that the time spent there, like, felt endless. Like, it was like your first real taste of freedom as a child, and all the distractions of the outside world shrank down to just campfires and late night adventures and spooky stories and fart jokes and new friends who, for a few short days or a week or whatever, felt like family. But then you leave and reality pulls you back to your everyday life, and those friendships fade and the faces blur, and before you know it, camp isn't a place anymore. It's a story you tell yourself. It's a legend built out of like sunburns and ghost stories and echoes of a life that never followed you home. Most people remember the fun, the counselors, the horrible fish dinners, the bland alphabet cereal for breakfast, the games, but not you guys. You guys got something special. You got something that not everyone will believe. Do you ever think about why he showed up for you specifically? Like, maybe it wasn't dumb luck. Like, maybe there was a reason he saved your buddy and a reason he led you out of those woods. I'd be real curious to know if any other kids since you or before you saw Brock. I don't think anybody saw him before you because I feel like Lutz would have heard about it, but maybe since? I don't know. Or maybe he was just watching over you. Either way, it's a great story, and you're lucky. You're a lucky guy for having such a good encounter. So next time my best friend's girl comes on the radio, tell him thanks. You never know who's out there listening. So thank you for your call, Kevin, and welcome to the Witching Hour. We are happy to have you. I hate to do this to you all. I'm so sorry. We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back. Quick, I promise, with more of the Witching Hour.
You say you got a case of the ordinary blues. Well, the doctor's in and he's got good news.
guitar, and when I play, I like to turn up the juice. So I rock with the real fruit juice taste and bubbly on bubble gums near Hawaiian Punch, Fruit Punch, Wet n Wild Watermelon, and Strawberry Stripe. Their full-face taste keeps my jaws jamming, and their blast and bubbles slide off my lips like my fingers across this guitar. Bubble Yum has 3 new flavors with real fruit juice taste. You gotta like the sound of that. Bubble Yum keeps it popping.
Flavors contain 2% apple juice concentrate and artificial flavoring.
We now return to The Witching Hour with Max Thorn.
All right, we are back. One of the protesters outside is wearing a Batman shirt. The exact same Batman shirt I believe I saw you, Ricky, wearing just last week. I don't know, man. It just struck me as funny. I guess everyone has a Batman shirt these days, even dorky protesters. Anyway, let's get back to the calls. Let's go to Jesse from Seattle. Jesse, you're on the air with Max Thorn and The Witching Hour.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
How old are you, buddy?
I'm 12.
Right on. So what you got?
So, something really, really strange happened to me, and I'm not sure if it was real or imaginary or what. My friend Ryan called it a crisis or something.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, everyone. On 3, lift and duck under. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go!
The parachute swells above us, a temporary dome of fabric and dulled colors glowing under the gym lights. It's warm in here, almost too warm. The air smells faintly of sweat and dust, but for the moment that doesn't matter. For a moment, it's just us, just the game, just like always. Being under the gigantic, color-filled parachute almost feels like freedom. The parachute floats over our heads, and we all hold on to the edges. The world outside goes quiet. The gym shrinks down, becomes something else entirely. We're in this little universe, and nothing can touch us. Not the world outside, not the responsibilities or expectations. We're just kids, playing, laughing, enjoying the rainy day activities. But then something changes. It's settled at first, like a summertime sunset, just enough to make you glance over your shoulder. I feel it in my stomach. It feels like a drop on a roller coaster, just as sharp, but much shorter. Something's wrong. The laughter around me warps, stretching into something unfamiliar. It's not the usual carefree sounds anymore. It's distant. It's echoing, like it's coming from somewhere far away. The voices are thick and heavy, and they don't belong to the kids around me anymore. They sound older and weirder. I want to look up to see what's happening, but I can't move. My hands grip the parachute tighter, almost too tight. And then there's a whisper. Too close to be one of the other kids, I know that. It's not from the coach. It's not even from the gym. It's right in my ear, warm, like someone familiar, but not familiar in the way I want. More like a shadow of something I can't quite place. I freeze. The words make my skin crawl. It doesn't feel like a joke. It feels like something is trying to wake me up from a dream, only I don't want to wake up. Or even more importantly, I know I'm not asleep. I don't know what it means, but I know one thing. Whatever mask is slipping, I don't want to know about. I should have shaken it off, told myself it was just another random weird moment in a lifetime seemingly filled with random weird moments. But this one lingers like cigarette smoke. It's in the hallways, it's in the corners of my school. It's in the way the lights buzz a little too loudly now. When I sit at my desk in class, it feels like it's some sort of prison that's gonna slowly kill me. I notice things now too. Things I've never noticed before. Like patterns on the walls and in the carpet, even on scuff marks on the gym floor. It's like the whole world is a puzzle, and I'm the only one that could see it.
Dude, wake up.
Huh?
You're in a daze, dude. You've been acting weird all day. Did you forget to eat? Sometimes when my mom forgets to eat, she acts really strange all day. But it's totally her fault, because she's always trying out some new diet that never works.
No, Ryan, do you ever feel like we're missing something? Like we're asleep, even when we know we're awake?
Oh, God. Now you sound like my sister. My mom calls it like an extension cord crisis or something. I don't know, but she has one every weekend.
I mean it. It's like something's fading. Something we used to know. The way things used to be. Remember when everything was so easy? The world was just this big place and we were small and it didn't matter. But now it's like we're walking through a fog and I can feel it, Ryan. I can feel it slipping away, and I don't know what's on the other side of that fog when it clears.
Dude, you good?
That night, I can't sleep. The whisper is stuck in my head, repeating over and over. I feel like I'm drowning in it. The mask is slipping. The mask is slipping. It's not just a voice. It's a presence. It feels like it's inside of me, pulling me inward. I want to ignore it, but it won't let me.
Jessie, honey, are you okay?
Yeah, Mom. Just thinking.
You've been quiet lately. Is everything all right?
I want to tell her. I want to say something's wrong, that the world doesn't feel the same now, that I'm scared. But I don't. I've been trying to ignore it, but I can't anymore.
The mask is slipping.
Yeah, Mom. I'm just tired.
You've never been able to turn that brain of yours off, huh? Please try to get some sleep.
The next day, under that same parachute, it appears, standing behind Ryan. Not a person, not really. It's something wrong. A shadow stretched too thin. It stands taller than anyone should ever stand, and its body is curving with the dome of the parachute. It's watching me. It's waiting. My heart skips a beat. I don't know what it is, but I know it's not from here. It's not a part of the world. I understand. I blink, and it's gone. Ryan.
Huh?
Did you see that?
See what?
I know we didn't see it, and I know why. It's not for him to see. It's for me.
Dude, you have got to eat something.
I can't stop thinking about it. I have to go back to the gym, back to that parachute. I have to see if it's still there, if it's still waiting for me. That night, I sneak in through the side door. The gym is empty. The lights hum, flickering slightly. The parachute lies on the floor, deflated. It looks like a giant, colorful portal to another world. I step closer. The air shifts. It's colder now, and the silence feels like it's holding its breath.
It's almost time.
And then the parachute begins to rise, slowly, as if inflating. The colors ripple, stretch too thin, like something is pushing up from beneath. I don't move. I can't. I'm frozen in place. Then the shadow steps forward. It's taller now. It's closer. Its shape looms over me, blotting out the dim light from the overhead. I see it tilt its head just like it did behind Ryan. But this time I see its face. It's mine, but wrong. Distorted, like a reflection in a cracked mirror. What are you?
You know, and I.
And I do. I see it now. The shadow isn't just some thing from the dark. It's what I'm becoming, what I'll be if I stop fighting it. It's the grown-up me, the part of me that's already let go, the part of me that's losing the game. I can feel it now. All of it. The pressure to grow up, the expectations. The voices telling me to stop playing, to start taking life seriously, get to work, raise a family. But it's not real. Not yet. It's a thing that's waiting, creeping closer. I step forward, my heart pounding, but I hesitate. The shadow's not real, not yet, not if I don't let it be real. The shadow shifts, the parachute flutters. I take a breath and I make my choice. I step under the parachute. The next morning, the world looks the same. Almost. The hallway is the same. The lights buzz the same. The scuff marks on the floor, they don't make a pattern anymore. But when Ryan talks, I listen. When my mom asks if I'm okay, I tell her the truth. I'm still here, and I'm still a kid. The shadow is still there. It hasn't gone, but for now I can see it for what it really is. Something that can wait. I'm not ready for him yet. The mask didn't slip, not yet at least, but once it does, I'll never be able to go back. I won't let the mask slip yet. I won't let it slip yet.
Jesse, buddy, I cannot attest what you saw or what happened, but I am familiar with that existential dread, and here is something I can tell you. It's not even advice. It's more of just like a warning that probably won't even help you at all. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Ricky, get your finger on that beeper, because Jesse, growing up is fucking hard, dude. It is hard. So take your childhood and hold on to it, because later on in life, you are going to cherish this time and wish you could go back, because I'm still young, but I am well aware that the older you get, probably the less fun you're going to have. So take it, hold it, cherish it. Don't let anybody fool you into thinking that growing up is awesome, because you're at a good age right now and you got a lot to do and a lot to even look forward to while still retaining your youth. And that's all I can tell you, buddy. Best of luck to you. Thanks for your call. All right, that will do it for this week's edition of The Witching Hour. I am Max Thorn. The date is Friday, October 6th. So do you know what that means? That means next week it will be Friday the 13th. So please join us, same time, same station. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll be back next week with more of The Witching Hour.